Welcome to another episode of your favorite libertarian. Today we're going to be talking about the Desert Warrior. Legend has it that years ago people didn't know how to spell, and so they tried as they might to find the Desert Warrior on Blade HQ's website, but instead they typed an extra S in and came up empty-handed. Well, no more. Blade HQ has heard their cries and pleas, and so they made the Desert Warrior to satisfy the need not only to look good, but also to cut donuts asunder. Oh, this is an unboxing of the Boker Desert Warrior Kalashnikov Dagger Automatic. Ta-da! Here she is in all of her sprinkled glory. This is going to be a fun one. I'm pretty excited actually to review this knife. Before we get into the features, let's talk about the specs. We have an overall length of 7.625 inches. We've got a blade length of 3.25 inches, a cutting edge on that blade of 3 inches, a blade thickness of 0.12 inches. The blade steel is AUS 8. It's a drop point. It's flat ground, plain edge. It's got a closed length of 4.375 inches. The handles are aluminum. It's got a weight of 3.7 ounces, so it's not light, and it's got a thickness of 0.67 inches. Let's talk about this tasty knife. So, features. What I like to do when I have a folder that I'm looking at and checking out, I like to start with the features before the blade is deployed. And the first of which that is glaringly obvious to me is this pocket clip. It's very bright, it's very long, and it's a deep pocket carry clip, which is good. I really like deep pocket carry clips. I think that all knives should be, pocket knives at least, should have a deep pocket carry clip. Try saying that fast and record it and get it right. This is long, which I don't really understand why they had to make it so long, but it works because this is painted aluminum and this is steel. This is actually really smooth coming in and out of the pocket, surprisingly, which is nice. It's not going to tear up your pockets, and because it's a deep pocket carry clip, it's going to be deep in your pocket, so it's going to be easily concealable. Of course, if you have this in a different coloration than this coloration, if you have all black, that'll help. I do wish that this was shorter, but as far as all these wavy lines, it actually seems to, for some reason, be very comfortable in my hand when I'm holding it when the blade's deployed. Surprisingly, so that's cool. Just kind of fits over here and it works. So hand sizes and comfort levels may vary, but for me, it's pretty comfortable. And of course, you've got this hole here so you can get to the screw to take it off if you want to take it off. But yeah, I would say pro for the pocket clip. There are some negatives in that it's way longer. But other than that, it works really well. And for the price, it's awesome that it has a deep pocket carry clip. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about the deployment, and then we'll talk about the features once it's deployed that I like. So you've got your purple button here. This is going to be your actuator, and this is a plunge lock. So once you push this in, it lets go of the blade, and that spring tension that's on the blade is released and shoots out super fast. I really like the authority in which this blade comes out. That's the pro. I would say the con is that with autos, there's this balance, especially if it's a single action auto of having it come out really fast and have that nice thunk, but being able to close it without a whole lot of effort. And the good news is the spring is really strong. The bad news is the spring is really strong. So I can close this with one hand, but I'm a dude. So if you get this for a lady in your life, they might have a little bit more trouble closing it. It might be more of a two-handed close and just something they have to practice. And as you deploy this and close it multiple times, it's probably going to get it a little bit easier to do, but something to keep in mind. Let's talk about these finger grooves. So I've never really had a pocket knife that had finger grooves, but I actually really like these finger grooves. They fit my hand really well. I wear size large gloves, so yeah, fits really well. And this pocket clip, for some reason, even though it's really long and weird, I can put it in my hand and it's actually really comfortable. So I was actually pretty surprised with that, which is great. I'm stoked about the finger grooves. And you can tell it's really solid. It's not going anywhere. You've got really good jimping along the scales and also along the blade a little bit. So you can put your thumb there and you can do all sorts of donut cutting with no problem. And then reverse grip, which anytime I have the chance to hold a knife, the second thing I do is put it in reverse grip, because I need to make sure that I can very easily pierce donuts and that it's going to be comfortable in my hand when I do that. And if you can see here, there's some really good jimping all along the back here. So you can put your thumb here and get a nice positive grip. It's not going to move on you. Even though these are aluminum scales, they still made it really good for retaining the knife. If you have wet hands, if you've got frosting on your hands and they're really slippery, you're going to be okay. Now, let's talk about the blade shape. The blade shape I really like because I really like the look of the Dagger blade, but I like the legality of only having this piece sharpened. So it's going to be legal in most states, and unless you have blade length restrictions, you're probably going to be okay with this knife, as long as autos are legal in your state. I should have that be a caveat. But I really like this blade shape. It's going to be really good for puncturing donuts, of course, just donuts. But this blade shape lends really well to that. And this type of grind and this type of blade profile, which is the drop point blade profile, is really easy to sharpen. And because it's AUS 8, it's just an easy steel to sharpen as well. So that's really cool. Another feature is that this is an auto. So, I mean, you want to talk about second kind of cool, it's an automatic. I mean, what is not to like about that? It does that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be able to do that with your knife? So yeah, this is super fun. It's got the fidget factor. It doesn't have, I would say it doesn't have the same amount of fidget factor as a out the front knife that is a dual action out the front knife or double action out the front knife, meaning you can't go shunk, 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 shunk all day. So you can't go as fast when you're fidgeting, but I would say the quality of fidget is better with this knife, because although it takes longer to flick this out, get it back in, and flick it again, it's more gratifying of a flick, I would say, in my opinion. So you're going to want to do it more and invest the finger strength and time in closing it so that you can do that again. Oh. So why would you want this particular coloration of the Kalashnikov 74, or this exclusive of the Kalashnikov 74? I think we've done a good job in answering why you would want to get something from the Kalashnikov 74 line. Besides this blade shape, there's tons of other blade shapes. There are a bunch of different colorations, and there's different sizes too. So they have a mini, I think it's called, that's a little bit smaller and shorter. You could get that. This is the full size, and then I think they actually have even bigger size than this. So I think we've done a pretty good job of answering why you would want any of those from the specs and the features that we talked about, but specifically for this, why would you want the Dessert Warrior? And I would have to say the first obvious reason, besides what else are you going to cut donuts with, I mean, is that it's just fun. I mean, you've got a whole lot of style in this package here. You've got the sprinkles, you've got the different colored hardware, you even have the blue accents inside, you have the pocket clip, you've got this electric blue blade. I mean, even your actuator has a different color. It's purple actuator. So, I mean, come on. It's just fun. So that would be one of the reasons if you want a knife with personality, if you want to break up the monotony of your all black everything blades, this is great. If you just want a conversation piece, when you have this super bright blue pocket clip on you, someone's probably going to be asking you for a knife if they need some cutting work done. So maybe you'll make a new friend. I don't know. And then you pull it out and they go, whoa, that's super cool. And they'll want to learn more about it. And you might even be able to get some people into knives that were not previously into knives. I would say that's where this really shines. If I showed you this exact knife and you weren't a knife person, let's say it was all black, because that's probably what I'll end up getting after reviewing this. I'll probably get my own. This is actually my wife's. And I'll have a black one, so it'll be like his and hers. It'll be super cute. But if I just showed someone an all black version of this, they'd be like, okay. They might even be scared if I went like that. And they're like, oh, why did I do that? But if I showed them this knife, they would go, oh, that's really cool. They might want to hold it. They might want to figure out how it works. And they might want to get this exact coloration because it's not as threatening or menacing as an all black auto blade. So I would say that this excels in getting non-knife people into knives. So if you are seeing someone with this knife, if you see anyone with like a unique or what you perceive as a weird looking knife, be nice. It might be their first pocket knife ever, and they're really proud of their purchase, and they're proud that they have something that can use as a tool for all sorts of tasks, including maybe cutting donuts with. So be nice, welcome them into the knife community, and think about that the next time you see someone posting something about this particular knife as well, because this might be their very first knife. It might be a lady that got this knife from a man in their life, and they're really excited about it and think it's super cute. And I don't disagree. I think it's it's just a fun knife. Well, that's gonna do it for me and the Boker Dessert Warrior Kalashnikov Dagger Automatic. Blade HQ exclusive. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can get notified weekly of the videos that I make, as I make them every week. And make sure that you're subscribed, because YouTube, anytime there's any type of free thinking or libertarian type content, they seem to unsubscribe people from that content. So make sure you're subscribed. As always, stay free. God bless.